involving the Bombay Brigadiers versus team Zine Drone Racing from Jaipur. This is the 1st of August, and we have an interesting race coming up right in front of you. The lineup today from ZDR, captained by Devnath, and then we have the wingman as Air Toast, and finally Logic playing the airman for ZDR. On the Bombay Brigadier side, we have Nishant doing the captaincy, and in place of Napster, we have NJ, and then finally we have 25 milliwatts. Also joining in for our expert panel is Rathi FPV from Bangalore. Welcome, Rathi. How are you doing today? Rathi, can you pick me up? All right, so probably we'll have to go without Rathi. There's some technical glitch out here. Let's go ahead right to the pit area out here, and let's see what the track is for you guys. We have a countryside track today. It's a very, very intricate track, and it involves a fair degree of expertise tonight. And the players themselves are very highly qualified to perform this track. So let's go ahead with the views
Hey
of this
guys, what's
track.
up? I hope you guys are doing fine. I'm doing just fine. Thank you for asking me, Karan. What about you? How are you doing on such a fine day?
Rathi, we have a huge lag. You might have to disconnect from Discord and connect back. We have a huge lag.
What technical glitch exactly?
Rathi, we have a huge gap lag. All right, so let's go ahead. We are here on our game server, and right now we are seeing the track in action. We are following logic along the way, and let's see if we can trace some of the other pilots flying out here. This is Devnath, the captain of ZDR. Then we have Air Toast also joining us, and then we have NJ out there for the Bombay Brigadiers and 25 milliwatts. So let's get started, pilots. I think enough practice time has been given. Welcome, viewers. Sorry for the slightest of glitches that are happening here and there, but I think we are ready to go now, and without any further delays. So let's start the round number 1. Let's introduce you to the scorecard. As you can see on the bottom left out there, we're going to have R1 to R10, and we are going to score 1 point each for 2 pilots competing against each other from each of the teams. So 1 against 1, Devnath will go against Nishant. Then we will be having the second place Logic going against 25 milliwatts, and Air Toast finally going against NJ. All 6 pilots are going to fly together at once, and R10 is going to involve 3 points for the pilot who will pick it at the end. So it's going to be a tough fight. Let's see who is going to win, and do drop in your comments if everything on the stream right now looks okay to you. Welcome again, and let's start the race now with round number 1. So pilots, get ready on the podium. We are going ahead with round number 1 starting right now. Let's pick up this view of the pilots, and they are on their way. Air Toast immediately in the lead with Logic.
1 second. 1 second. Karan, I
And
think Devnath has been disconnected from the race before even starting this. So
okay.
we'll have to wait for him to. We'll have to. I mean, just unlock. I mean, we have to unlock the server as well.
All right,
And
guys, let's scrap this session. Hold on. Treat this as a practice because we have lost Devnath because of disconnection. Okay, but in the middle of the round, if there is a disconnection, there will be a disqualification. So keep that in mind. I've unlocked the server. Please join in fast.
Please also push him into flying, Karan.
Once he joins in.
Yeah.
Okay, we're still about to see Devnath to join in. Please join in fast, Devnath. Okay, not yet. So we are going to start the 2-minute timer for Devnath for this round.
Devnath, you still haven't been reflected here.
So if you are in the lobby, please keep it in mind. Devnath, the timer has started of 2 minutes.
He is going to take maybe a minute more. He has to restart his Velocidrones because even though he did join, he didn't show up here. So hopefully he does come here in time.
Okay. There is enough time. Right now, 1 minute and 40 seconds. All right, so till then, let's take a view of the pilots from another viewpoint, show you around the track a little bit more, follow some of the other pilots out there. Nishant, you can see out there right now. And he seems to have practiced very well, Nishant FPB. Let's look at 25 milliwatts. He is on standby. Air Toast is
All right.
doing his practice.
Devnath, your color.
Okay, so Devnath is in, and we have put him in flying mode. And okay,
His color is also coordinated. So let's get on with today's first race, Karan.
yeah, let's go on, pilots. On your marks at the count of less than 5. There we go. This is the official round recorded. After this, if there is any disconnection, it will be treated as official. We are on our way at round number 1. In the lead right now is Logic, and Logic is doing some of these gates out there. You can see there is a very nice turn out there, a corkscrew kind of a thing, and this is an interesting part, Rathi, about if you can just explain a little bit to the viewers about that part of the track.
All right, so this is pretty much a Jacob's ladder. So what this exactly does is you have to go through it in one way in the descending order of the gates. And this does test your skill because you have to be extremely tight to do these elements properly. And if you do not, if you lose the tightness or you lose the closeness to the element, you will be losing crucial amount of seconds. And I think most of the top pilots barely even like move out of line, and they do it within like let's just say they hold their sticks in one position for the entire three gates, and they get it done within one shot. Whereas a lot of people, beginners like me and pretty much anyone else who's just starting their simming career, I would say, will find it difficult because we go through the gate, then we have to rotate back, then we come back, and then we line ourselves up for the gate again, and then we go through again. So this is the kind of difference that we have between the top class pilots and the beginner pilots like me.
Fantastic. And Devnath and Logic. Devnath has just outbounded. Air Toast has fallen up. He has committed a few mistakes. He was in the lead. And right now, he is trying to get back up to position number 4. Meanwhile, Logic and Devnath, we are following these pilots. Look at that. Toe-to-toe competition. They are going around that Jacob's ladder under that roughage kind of a building out there, structure. And let's try to see if we can cover them from another angle out here for a better coverage. But both of them are flowing in perfect sync. That is the beauty of how these pilots fly. They are not even of opposite teams, and they are gaining strength just from each other's flying. Look at that. 400, less than 400 milliseconds of difference between Devnath and Logic, and Devnath in the end just picked up that crucial 1 point. But nevertheless, we'll be scoring 2 points at least for the team from ZDR, and I believe that will only leave Air Toast to be competing against NJ. So NJ has defeated Air Toast. So 2 points, one for Devnath, one for Logic, and one for NJ from the Bombay Brigadiers. The Bombay Brigadiers started well, but then I think they just couldn't keep up with the speed of Logic and Devnath. So right now, as it stands, we are right now at 2:1. So let's update that score line for you. And you can see on our bottom left scorecard, round number 1 has completed. Devnath and Logic contributing 1 point each. NJ picking up 1 point for the Bombay Brigadiers. It's 2:1 for ZDR versus the Bombay Brigadiers. All right.
Karan, I think we can move on to the next race because I think all these pilots are ready and they are ready to race their quads, I would say. So why not let's just give them all a round 2 as well.
Yeah, I was about to say that. So let's not worry about any kind of time in between. Let's get going right away. Pilots, at the count of less than 5. Here we go. Let's see through the eyes of Nishant FPV. He is the captain of the Bombay Brigadiers, and this time he will be having some bit of responsibility on his shoulders because he is going head on with the captain of the ZDR team, Devnath, who experienced a little bit of technical issue initially, and right now he's back with us. Look at that. Devnath and Logic always going together. And, Logic has matured into a very, very fine pilot, Rathi. What has been the secret behind, Logic's performance, huge performance difference as we have seen?
I think he has been a sim racer from the beginning. I think he has been putting a lot of time in the simulators, just trying to get very, very quick in comparison to, I would say, the rest of us out here. I think he has had a very strong route when it comes to sim racing, and that is really showing in this display where he is still a few gates ahead of Devnath.
We are back again into that structure with Logic. Let's see where Nishant FPV is trying to catch up with Devnath right now. Look at that. Nishant FPV getting in his gear, and Devnath just ahead of Nishant. He's about 4 to 5 gates away. Let's see where Devnath is right now. Nishant will be really hurrying up to catch up with him because he is head on with Devnath. If Devnath picks up that point, then he'll be losing that point to Devnath. But right now, in the safest of positions is NJ, I would say, NJ against Air Toast. But that's also an interesting competition out there that's going on. Let's see what's happening with NJ and Air Toast. NJ leading a little bit and coming closer to Nishant now, while we are far away with Logic and Devnath. Well ahead into the lead. There is absolutely no point chasing these pilots anymore because Logic is going to get his number 1 position and Devnath number 2. So it's again sort of the same story, I would believe, if we continue at the same pace. And I hope, Rathi, this doesn't become too predictable in the end because Devnath and Logic are really flying too well, too good to be beaten right now. But NJ is the one who is scoring against Air Toast. Not sure why Air Toast is not being able to keep up with his speed and skill, or if it's just the practice thing that's missing from Air Toast.
I think the practice thing is pretty much missing from a pilot such as Air Toast because I think a lot of things have been coming up for Air Toast in his life, and he cannot concentrate on racing as such. But that does not mean that he has completely given up racing. So I'm happy to see that he is still racing, and he is still supporting his team, which is a ZDR. But here we see that NJ might have just practiced a little bit harder, a little bit better than Air Toast, and that is giving NJ the edge. Here we can see they're almost 8 seconds apart from each other, which just means that NJ is going to flush points away from Air Toast. Atos was one of the most consistent point scorers for the ZDR team, but I don't think this time he's going to be consistently scoring. I think he's going to consistently be losing points to NJ.
So there you see on the scorecard after we have completed round number 2, Logic and Devnath putting up the pedal at position 1 and 2. Nishant is getting better, I would say. He's still about to cover a good amount of ground, and Devnath will be only getting better with the next few rounds. So definitely a huge competition ahead and a huge gain of momentum that's to be made by the Bombay Brigadiers. So let's get started immediately with our round number 3 without any further delay. And pilots on your podium, on your set marks in less than 5. Let's go straight ahead into the racing arena with Logic in his FPV view. You can see ahead of him is Devnath right now. So Devnath was quick to get off the ground. A lot of things happening out there right away from the bat. Logic and Nishant right now are taking good ground. Look at that. Nishant is taking all it up to Devnath right now. But Nishant does not have to slow himself down. That's the only challenge that he has, because Devnath can easily pedal himself, and especially he's good at those Jacob's ladders, and Devnath really covers good rounds once he is in those kinds of gates. Right now we are
I
taking a
think
very
it's still a very close race between Nishant and Devnath. If Devnath does make even a little bit of a mistake, Nishant will be hot on his tail and probably would have overtaken Devnath. Since they are pretty much just 3 or 4 gates apart from each other. So any mistake for Devnath would be very crucial for Nishant FPV to finally get a point for his team.
That's right. And looks like it's going to result in a similar story right now. This time, Air Toast is climbing back up, and he's giving a head start to himself right now in round number 3. So let's see what he's going to be up to right now, because NJ is right against his tail. This is a very, very interesting position to spot these two pilots. It's going 3 and 4 between these two pilots. They are just hopping against each other's positions right now. Look at that, in perfect sync, and that's the kind of competition that we like to see always happening at any IDRL SAH. Look at that, an unbeatable kind of competition that's happening between these two pilots. And the
NJ
pilots.
just about taking the lead, and I mean it's such a close race according to me, because both of them have very close skill levels, and it's showing on this track. I think Airtos is getting faster than what he was, but NJ still looking like he has the edge over Airtoast.
And a little bit of loss of momentum from Nishant FPV. We are unusually seeing him at position number 5. Usually he's sticking around at 2 or 3, but NJ is leading from the front. He is giving a tough head-on competition to Air Toast. So the moment Air Toast results in a little bit of a slack, NJ is just waiting for that fine opportunity, and they are exactly at the same gate right now. Look at that, hardly a bit of difference between them. And will NJ make it? Oh my God, just a few
NJ
seconds
just has a
away.
crash at the end, and finally Airtos has broken his curse of not uh, not getting any points and finally scoring for his team. This means that ZDR gets all the 3 points for this round.
Yep, that's going to take this total to 7-2 against the Bombay Brigadiers, and the round number 3 is over. Welcome viewers again on Facebook and YouTube. We are live on both the platforms. Hope you drop in your comments. Thank you so much, and we'll be having Rati and myself answer them in some time. But round number 4 is about to begin right with our pilots, the very good teams that are fighting right now. Top 2 teams of SAH right now in the lead out here. Let's see what's going to happen with some of these pilots. Logic is looking really good right now, and so is Devnath. But Nishant has some kind of a strategy planned for himself, it looks like. He is getting to position number 1. That's excellent news for the Bombay Brigadiers, the captain leading from the front. And look at that, who is at position number 2? It's Air Toast. So it's a real tough competition between Nishant and Air Toast actually to watch. And what a round this will be if they get really, really close to right till the very end of this particular race. Look at that. Now Devnath and Air Toast we are seeing in the front, but Nishant is slightly ahead. So that's very, very good news. And Nishant, look at that. I mean, he's really confident, Rathi, in this round.
I think Nishant has taken off, and he is really fighting hard to keep up the lead. But Devnath is very hot on his tail, and you can see that if you switch to Devnath's FPV feed, that he might just be overtaking Nishant. And if Devnath does
Oh,
make a
yeah.
mistake, then well, it doesn't matter because Nishant FPV just got overtaken by Devnath,
Yeah, we
and
saw
that
that
is kind of
overtake.
sad because Nishant was leading the race quite well, and he was going to score his first point, but I don't think it's happening in this round until unless Devnath does mess up or Devnath's internet just goes away from. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
just
And
robs
Nishant has
Devnath of
committed
his points.
another mistake, and that's going to prove him costly. Now there's Devnath all the way. That's his win to be taken. So it was really, really close. But okay, well, I mean, this is still lap number 3 that's going on. Anything can still happen. They are about 8 gates away now, and Devnath is really ramping up the difference between these two pilots. So it's an even odd kind of a coloring sequence you can see out there. Devnath followed by Nishant, Air Toast. Now Logic is getting up there, but Air Toast seems to have really pushed the accelerator out here because Air Toast, I don't think he was really happy with his performance in his first 3 rounds, but from this round onwards, he has been really looking to accelerate himself. And that's the kind of.
Devnath FPV just, I mean, sorry, Devnath just finishing his race right now. We're waiting for Nishant FPV to come second. Airtos will be taking third place or maybe even Logic, but there is absolutely no hope for. I mean, again, if both of them mess up once, I think NJ can catch right up to them because NJ is not too far behind, but he is still far enough behind to make sure that he does not succeed in coming in the third or fourth place.
Oh, yeah, and that's disappointing news once again for the Bombay Brigadiers because they are losing points like the rainwater right now. It's all 3 points again to ZDR, and that takes their tally to 10 points against 2. Uh, you know, this is like a storm that's really gathering up, and the Bombay Brigadiers, with the captaincy of Nishant, they have to really strategize to uh, put this storm at rest sooner than later because once it gets past round number 5, it's going to get really, really difficult.
So I think we can go ahead with round number 5 as well because Jasim or 25 milliwatt just completed his race.
All right, let's get going with round number 5. Right now, we are following NJ, and he's usually in the top 3 of the positions out there. And look at that, a rainbow of colors in blue and red. All of them doing that Jacob's ladder from the bottom up, the first one that's supposed to be done. And then you have to go through a high rise gate coming down into that rectangular building section, then coming back up. Right now, let's see how we can follow the top leader pilot right now, Devnath. He's just ahead of the competition. Not
Actually,
too.
it's a little bit more interesting if we see Nishant FPV's FPV feed because he is right in between the sandwich of the top 3 pilots. I mean, now the top 3 pilots is Devnath, Logic, and Airtos. But Nishant just had a minor crash, and because of which he has fallen down quite a few positions. Now we can see NJ came second, but uh, Air Toast and NJ is still going very hard at it, and looks like Logic has dropped down, but just now overtaking NJ. Logic is having issues where he is crashing quite constantly, but he is just 2 gates behind NJ, and like this looks like it's gonna be a very interesting race for NJ because NJ just might. Okay, NJ is moved up to all the way to second place,
Oh,
even
yeah.
beating Air
Oh,
Toast.
yeah.
Air Toast having a major crash because of which he's back down to fourth place. Now he's competing with Nishant FPV.
Right, and this is definitely a close one. Air Toast right at the tail of NJ. Devnath is far ahead into lap number 3 already. NJ will be having probably a very, very close race right now with Logic. It's the competition. It's really heating up right now. Let's see through the eyes of Logic. He's right behind. He's not too far from NJ. Look at that. They are circling each other as they circle those gates and the Jacob's ladder. And NJ and Logic once again. It's difficult to choose which pilot to switch to for the 3D view because both of them are equally at the same position. They are hopping around each other. Right now, Logic is just ahead. I mean, by just a second or so right now with NJ at his tail. So if we switch to NJ's view, we can see Logic ahead of him. NJ is trying to get a hold of Logic somehow out there. Look at the beauty of this track. It's a very, very tricky in certain parts of this track. It confuses you a little bit, but then it's also very flowy. And NJ crashing into that start gate. And
Only finishing about 3 seconds off of Logic, which means that there's a lot of improvement coming from NJ's side. The few mistakes in the start costed Logic quite a lot of his time, but he did come back and he did beat pretty much everyone else except for his teammate, which is Devnath. We can see that NJ will be taking another point for his team. Airtos coming in pretty much at dead last, getting beaten by Jason.
Right, and 2 points for the team ZDR and 1 point for team Bombay Brigadiers. So that takes up the tally to 11 is to 1, sorry, 12 is to 1 in the favor of team ZDR. They are 4 times the points of Bombay Brigadiers. So it's a perfect right now. It's a half time right now and a half time recap with some of these pilots. What do you think, Rathi, about the story so far that has happened?
Just 1 second. Yeah, yes, tell me, guys, in the stream. Karan, could you please unlock the server for now? I think someone got kicked out. I think just in the nick of time.
Okay.
Okay, so I think I mean Airtos has not completed his race because I think he got a lot of internet issues because of which his server has been
Okay, he's back up, I guess.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
And now can you please just change this one Vishal to flying?
Yep, done. So, all right. So, how would you rate the first 5 rounds, Rathi, so far? What's your take on till the halftime?
I think this is actually very interesting seeing NJ basically come from. I think he was last. I think he placed last when it came to the. I think the leaderboard, the qualifying. But here we can see that he's maintained. He has maintained his head high, and he's started to beat the likes of an internationally acclaimed pilot such as Air Toast, and because of which NJ has been scoring points for his team quite consistently, except for maybe that one round in between. But here, I think Vishal is going to take the L in comparison with NJ.
So that was the halftime review from our expert panel. And let's get going with round number 6 pilots straight away with your podium on the marks at the count of less than 5. Round number 6, post halftime. This is a very tough battle ahead of the Bombay Brigadiers, and all 3 pilots have to really do well. All 3 of them will be looking to defeat their individual opponents. NJ will be looking to get a hold of Air Toast 25 milliwatts against, I would say, Logic, and then Devnath against Nishant FPV. Right now, Nishant is really pushing it hard to break the barrier of Logic and Devnath right now. Logic is himself far ahead into the lead right now. He's about 6 gates away from Nishant's position, but all of them are looking really good in good positions. Logic has covered quite a bit of a ground out there, really quick on that last part of the second lap.
I think. Okay, Nishant FPV just about overtaking Devnath for the first time. Looks like Nishant is going to actually score for his team finally after such a long time.
Oh, wow. And then he made that little bit of a mistake out there. and that gave Devnath once again the chance to come back. But right now, Nishant, look at that. We are following Nishant and Devnath in a crisscross position. Nishant is right back in the game with Devnath. He's just one gate behind Devnath. Look at that. How close could the competition get more? This is Nishant against Devnath right now. Seeing through the eyes of Nishant, Nishant is getting stuck out there, and those silly mistakes would be costing him. His speed has really been a factor, not being able to control his drone because of the speed.
I think NJ has shown the amount of skill that he has because he is constantly beating Vishal or Air Toast FPV by quite a margin at the moment. We can see that NJ is about at least like 15 gates ahead of Air Toast. NJ now beating even Logic, and it looks like Logic has had some. I think Logic has had a crash, because of which he has, I mean, it has costed him enough amount of time. Nishant, though, very close to Logic, and we can see that there's a good race that can go on in between them if Logic does
Oh,
mess up
wow,
again.
look at that. And NJ making a little bit of a leeway for Logic, giving just the right opportunity for him at that gate. Just a slack, but NJ is coming back right in, and he has covered good ground. Wow,
That
amazing.
is super close. I think
Super
that's
one,
around
yeah.
500 milliseconds apart from each other, and that's honestly one a really close race for them. I think in the first round we saw that Logic and Devnath were just a few milliseconds off of each other, but this is also, I mean, talking about in terms of cross teaming, I think uh, the NJ just beat Logic by about half a second, which is amazing. I think NJ coming in from qualifying last to actually showing that he has a material to actually hit up. I mean, to battle it out right up in the front.
Right, so 1 point each has been scored by Devnath and Logic, and NJ once again overtaking Air Toast far behind at position number 5. So right now we are taking up the tally to 14 points for Team ZDR against the 4 points for Team Bombay Brigadiers. There is a 10-point gap, and the last 3-pointer is definitely going to be very, very crucial now for the Bombay Brigadiers. The next 3 rounds, they have to really win it, all 3 pilots, so huge pressure on them. Let's go ahead, pilots, with round number 7 starting right now. There you go. The pilots are taking off. Right now, in the lead is Devnath straight away, as usually we see him. Air Toast is serious about this round right now. He's following his captain's lead, and as the wingman, he's trying to block away the captain from the other side. But Nishant has just really broken the barrier of Air Toast, but Air Toast really fairly covering the blockage once again right now, putting up the block for NJ, and NJ is now climbed up out there at position number 3. This is a very, very interesting race. Look at that. The ups and downs of this game are really, really thrilling, I would say. And the Logic is sitting out there at position number 4. So he's right behind NJ. And
Just overtaking NJ, I think both Logic and NJ are having quite a good amount of competition between themselves. I think like we saw in the last round, I think Logic and NJ are so closely matched in terms of their own skills that we see NJ and Logic really fighting it out. Logic making a mistake and letting Nishant in front. Will 25 milliwatt take advantage of Logic's mess up and
yeah.
gain more ground and actually score a point for his team this round? I think this is something that is worth seeing, and I mean, everyone's just hoping that I think 25 milliwatt is hoping that Logic does make a big mistake and crashes it out at a very crucial point. So giving him quite an advantage over Logic.
Yeah, and Logic, we just saw in his FPV view just a while ago that he crashed into one of the boulders out there on the track, and that was a mistake. NJ right now, he's right again behind, but it just looks to me, Rati, that NJ is having that bit of an edge over Logic. I don't know what it is, it's maybe psychological or something, but it's just a little bit of an edge that NJ is playing over. Most of the times, he is ahead of Logic right now.
I think it's not a mental game. I think it's just pure hard work that NJ has put into this track, and you can see that it is really affecting because now NJ and Nishant are having a competition. Logic just dropping down right now because of another mistake. Again, it's 25 milliwatts race to lose if Logic keeps making such silly mistakes. Airtoast is well ahead of NJ, so Airtoast will actually be scoring a point for their team. Airtoast finishing in quite behind his team captain, but as we just saw, Devnath setting the fastest time of this entire track.
Wow, just look at the timings over here. 153 for Devnath. Congratulations, Devnath. A fantastic time out there. And the best lap at 36 seconds. He just gets faster and faster. Once he's in the groove, nobody can stop him. And he has been leading from the front. He has been right now undefeated for the first till the first 7 rounds that have completed. So we score 1 point for Devnath, 1 point for Air Toast, and then we score uh, 25 milliwatts. Okay, well, this also goes to the ZDR team. All 3 points in their bag, in spite of Nishant and NJ coming third and fourth of their good game, doesn't really pay off because Air Toast won against NJ and Devnath won against the captain Nishant FPV. So that was really, really disappointing. And let's see what's going to happen at the score line over here. 17 points is to 4. Definitely not a good news for the Bombay Brigadiers.
I think all the points that have been scored by the Bombay Brigadiers still now have been NJ's, and NJ has really shown the amount of NJ has overcome such a big skill gap in such a short amount of time because I think this is what we can see from NJ's race is that he is putting out much faster times than his own qualifying times. I think he wanted to make sure that he gets in that sort of a position where he's able to score points for his team. I think it was a very smart move if it all coordinated by their team captain, who is Nishant.
All right, guys, and we are now going to proceed straight ahead into round number 8. Get ready with your drones and gear because round number 8 is starting in less than 5. There you go. We are seeing right now all the pilots taking off, and this time Airto straight away in the lead. Not sure Devnath is at the bottom out there. Really interesting out there.
Devnath just taking off. Devnath was giving himself a 5-second counter because he thought that the competition was too easy for him. So let's just hope that Devnath's overconfidence or a better word to use would be cockiness in this round does pay off well or not. I think Nishant, if he holds his nerve, oh, never mind. Devnath has just overtaken Nishant. So I think Devnath just finds this competition way too easy, and he really doesn't care about what anybody says to him at this point in time. He just does what he wants to do.
But you know, I really admire Nishant FPV. He has shown a very, very fine performance all throughout the series. And as the captain, with so much of a pressure, he's been really doing well, especially against a top pilot like Devnath. It's not really easy out there.
Devnath getting a little overconfident and making a small mistake. Is that enough for Nishant to come trailing behind Devnath? I don't think so. But I think if Devnath keeps showing this much overconfidence throughout the laps, I think Nishant can beat Devnath and actually get his first point. Here we see that NJ has overtaken Airtoast again, and I think Airtoast is finding it really hard to keep up with a pilot such as NJ, and NJ again will be scoring points. No, I think NJ just made a mistake. They are neck and neck with each other, again beating each other one gate at a time. I think it's a super close race in between NJ and Airtoast.
Let's look at how beautiful Devnath is flying. Always a delight to watch, as we have been saying that. That's become a cliche. Not to mention for Devnath, a pilot of his caliber also flies at a D1 Racing Legends, and he and Shady are together beating the competition out there and making our country proud. So
I
Devnath
think
and Logic.
Shady just has a little bit of an edge over Devnath. I think Devnath does not have his priorities in his favor, and because of which you can see that the likes of Shady are is beating pilots such as Devnath. almost constantly. I think we saw the same thing happen when we had the Hyderabad Hellraisers competing against the ZDR team on one of the toughest tracks that I've seen in the SAH series.
For sure, and in spite of all those non-priorities, priorities for Devnath, he seems to be someone who has just got the blood of drone racing in his, in his blood. So he has really not to worry. I mean, he's right now unbeaten, I would say. Look at that. I mean, he can really fly this track blindfolded. And Devnath and Logic getting 1 point each, and NJ getting that 1 point. So NJ is supposed to be the only person right now who is scoring any points at all for the Bombay Brigadiers. Although it's really hard to compare that way, because it's been really tough ahead for Nishant FPV against Devnath, and 25 milliwatts against Logic. So 19.
I think 25 milliwatt just might have had a little. I mean, he did practice quite hard, I'm pretty sure, but I don't think he's finding his race pace immediately. It might just take him a couple more races, but will those couple more races be enough for him to beat the likes of Logic? Because Logic is a super fast pilot, and you see that Logic in the leaderboards, you can see that Logic has beaten the time of Nishant. Oh no, wait, Nishant just a second faster than Logic, and it's really showing. But 25 milliwatts is way below the pecking order in fifth place, and because of which I think you can see that there's quite a huge skill gap. But a pilot who is in the sixth place, which is NJ, has come and started beating the fifth place pilot, who is Air Toast.
Okay, that was the take from Rathi, and 19 points against 5 is the scoreline right now as we enter round number 9. This is just the penultimate round before the crucial round number 10. And let's see what action happens in round number 9, with the action starting right now. Let's see, Nishant is an interesting pilot to watch, because he'll be at the top. Look at that. He's straight away taken off. And
Devnath has been disconnected. So
wow, that is a loss. So Nishant FPV should not be really worried right now, because he's going to walk away with that 1 point. Unless they
Nishant FPV looking quite relaxed. He is competing against the likes of Vishal. Vishal and Nishant's skill levels are not the same. Vishal being a much slower pilot in comparison to that of Nishant.
And there you go. Logic right now in the front. NJ is really taking Logic as his opponent right now, because he wants to show his skill and performance in front of Logic. This is all very relative right now, and Nishant right now getting ahead of the game in front of NJ, but they are very, very close to each other. Logic also about 4 or 5 gates away ahead of Nishant. Nishant right now climbing very fast, so let's switch to the FPV view of Nishant, because it is really close now with Nishant and Logic. Look at that. They have covered, Nishant has covered very, very good ground out here. And boy, does he get serious. When he gets serious, he is really about to crash the whole championship out there, no matter who is in front of him at the moment. And Logic will be really very hot at his tail right now. And Nishant is at the front straight away. Look at that. Logic has really given away to Nishant. He was just not able to handle that pressure, it looks like.
Nishant couldn't keep up the lead, and he has crashed, which is kind of sad, because we were really hoping that he would come out in front and show us that he does have a true racing potential. And sadly enough, the nerves are getting the better of him, and because of which he is really losing out to Logic right now. Air Toast with 75% prop damage. I don't think his squad will be flying very well, and
wow.
I don't think that should be taken as a reason for his loss against NJ pretty much constantly. I kind of like the demographic that Air Toast has gone from one of the consistent point scorers for ZDR to pretty much scoring maybe 1 or 2 points this entire series. I mean, this entire race.
So the one thing that I saw was that Nishant FPV is really very quick at that Jacob's ladder inside that roughage of a building out there at the very last end. But that was, again, silly mistakes being done by Nishant that costed him his lap. And the last lap could have been very well his. But right now, as the scoreboard stands, Nishant nevertheless has won this round. So he has no regrets whatsoever because Devnath was not there. And Logic has definitely got one for his team. And then NJ will be picking up the other point against Air Toast. So as it
We'll
stands
be
right
waiting
now,
for, at the moment, Karan, let's wait for 25 milliwatt or Jasim to complete the race. And in the meantime, you can probably open the server and let Devnath join back. Or if you want to support your Bombay team, you can probably not do that. And you can make Devnath wait another race out because Nishant is just hoping for getting some more points for his team. But since that would be unfair, we would have to actually open the server. But that doesn't stop you from kicking him out again, Karan. Do you want to kick him out again?
oh yeah, I mean, let's have some mercy on the champion right now and give him some support. He has was unbeaten, and the game itself defeated him right now. So not his fault.
Okay, let's also put Devnath into flying. Is I think he's
Yeah, just
set to
change your color,
spectating at the
Devnath.
moment. Okay, he has been put into flying. Um, but no, this is not the last race, guys. Please.
Yeah, this is the last round coming up, round number 10.
Oh, this is the round number 10. Okay, then I think we can actually kick Devnath out. I don't think we would like to see Devnath racing for the last round as well because have some mercy on the Bombay Brigadiers, guys.
All right, well, that's against the rules. Let's start right away with round number 10. And let's watch Nishant seriously take this away from Devnath. Well, right now it looks like Nishant a little bit behind. He's trying to catch up here, and Nishant at position number 4. Logic ahead of the pack, seriously ahead right now. Gate number 10 between Devnath and him is absolutely no difference. They are working together like a time machine together, and Nishant is now picking up. He's trying to invade the space that's been blocked in between by Devnath and Logic. But Nishant, the captain, not being given the space by Logic. Logic is playing actually the wingman right now in place of Air Toast. But Air Toast right now is sitting out there at position number 5, also trying to break in, but not able to get off the ground that fast as compared to other pilots. Devnath safely in the lead, I would say, at this point. But NJ is fit to
Nishant
carry up. Look at that.
Yes, NJ is showing real amount of growth in his flying, and it does show because Nishant keeps doing silly mistakes. I think the pressure of the last race has got to him, and the fact that he beat Devnath only because Devnath got kicked out of the server is really playing in his head, and it has had a detrimental effect on his confidence during the race, and because of which I would say that. I think NJ does get the better off of Nishant, but NJ is still not very far behind, but far enough behind from Devnath to not make so much of a difference. But if there is a way that Devnath does have quite a few crashes, I think NJ can be a real, I would say a real, he would come in real hot and onto Devnath's tail.
Yeah, so the way I look at it right now is Nishant is really, really fast when he gets going, but just because of those mistakes and somehow he makes a few mistakes, that's what gives NJ a slight kind of a position over Nishant right now. But Nishant, if he gets going, boy, is he fast. And that should be actually something that he should maintain, but at the same time, he should not worry that he's making the mistakes all the time. That should not be in his mind. So little mental things like that should not
Nishant,
hamper.
as you were saying about Nishant, I think Nishant crashed again. So if the more we speak about Nishant, I think the more he crashes. So let's go, Nishant. We're hoping for you. Come on. And he crashed again as well. This is amazing.
Wow,
It's
look at
funny
that.
how much power commentators have over the individual pilot's performance. I can say, Nishant, you're doing well, and he crashed into the start gate.
And Ratty playing all kinds of mind tricks right now on the pilots. He can probably hack this game in his favor at any given point. He knows the pilots well, and he knows how to manipulate them at the right time. So very good skill there shown by our expert panelist. And so guys, that's what it is right now. Devnath has come up and picked up his 3 points for his team. So that gives the tally of 23-1 and the win for ZDR against the Bombay Brigadiers at point 7. Very well done by Bombay Brigadiers, an impressive performance. This was a very, very tough track, nevertheless. And, I was really, really personally very happy with NJ and Nishan's performance. 25 milliwatts, probably a little bit of a lack of a practice had shown on his part, and so was Air Toast. Air Toast, in a summary, I would say he was in some spirit in some rounds, probably in rounds 4 and 5, he was looking good. But then towards the end of the series, he again kind of fell away to a position number 5 along with 25 milliwatts. But NJ and Nishan just kept improving their game, and that's what we want to see. And Devnath and Logic also keeping up themselves ahead of that pack. And a very, very fine race overall. Rathi, if you have a quick summary of this race that happened and your favorite moments of this race.
I think my favorite moments would have been Devnath literally cradling Logic. Knowing that Devnath is so much quicker than Logic, he still kept Logic in front of him because he wanted to make sure that Logic was not a weak point and Logic did not come under any pressure from anybody. I think seeing that sort of brotherhood among the teammates is absolutely astonishing. And I think the highlight of this entire race was how Vishal went from the most consistent point scorer uh, of the ZDR team. He went on to lose pretty much all of his points to NJ this time. I think there was a big lack of practice and seriousness from Vishal. I think he should be working on that, and his team captain should be enforcing that Vishal does do his practice rounds in a timely and orderly manner.
So there we have the game has finished up right now with 23-7, and so next we usually call the captains and have their interviews. But let's just say who was the man of the match. I mean, Devnath obviously dominated all of this, but after Devnath, who do you think was really, really impressive, Rati?
I think NJ. I think his growth was quite insane. I mean, like seeing that he's beating the likes of Nishant FPV, his own captain, coming in from dead last, and still, I mean, that is an amazing amount of performance that NJ just showed to us.
Definitely. So let's walk back into the commentary box, and if you want to answer a few questions, or should we get the captains online?
Okay, so let's just get back with the captains online, especially starting with Nishant FPV. Guys, whoever's watching, can you please wish Nishant FPV a very happy birthday?
Oh yeah, and today's his birthday for sure.
Especially the chat. And let's unlock all the pilots who are here, and let's actually celebrate Nishant's birthday with a happy birthday.
All right, pilots, here we go. Happy
Birthday
birthday
to
to
you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, that's pretty much it.
That's enough.
Yeah, everybody
Thank you,
is
thank you.
there's a lot of delay, and we are trying to account
Happy
for all
birthday,
kinds of
Nishant.
technicalities.
Thank you, thank you.
Happy birthday, Nishant. I hope you had, you had a less than ideal race this time, but I think you would still be quite happy to have won the 1 point against Devnath.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
how many points of Bob like in total?
So, what was it like?
All by NJ.
Yeah. So 7 points that were scored by the Bombay Brigadiers this time, and all of the 7 points were scored by none other than NJ. NJ getting
Oh, Nishan was
ahead
number
of
9.
Air
Nishan
Toast
was also number
pretty
9.
much on 8 race occasions. But since the last race does not count 4 points, I think if that would have counted as points, I think Bombay Brigadiers would have had 8 points instead of just 7, and the competition would have been a little less one-sided. So, Nishant, what do you think your team should be preparing for now?
We should be practicing a little bit more, and that's it.
Okay, so you say that practice is key.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, are you very happy with NJ's performance,
yeah,
or
man.
did it even surprise you? Because for sure it surprised me and Karan as well.
Man, NJ is a key player. He came from the bottom up. That's too good.
Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So let's move on to Devnath and let's have a little bit of an interview with Devnath. Devnath, seeing that your team won, what was your mindset going into this race? Were you at all concerned about your team's performance or anything such as that?
The only person I'm concerned about is Vishal. I'm not concerned about anything else.
So, do
I,
you think Vishal let you down this time?
he always lets me down, so every race is it's nothing
He
new.
brought me down back to back.
Well, he was the
That
first
is.
one to actually join the server, actually, so he was good on that one. That
Brought me
part he
down.
did really well
Yes,
without any disappointment. So we
he
should
keeps on doing.
congratulate,
Yeah.
Vishal on that one.
But
And
yeah, just to put it out there, NJ for sure. Like that, it was really an amazing performance we saw from him. We never expected him to, play so well. So NJ did really well. Nishant too. I mean, in spite of pressure, for sure they flew really well.
how about Logic, Devnath? He's been really improving, as a pilot, as a youngster. He's really quickly maturing, as far beyond the pro pilot scene right now. He almost looks very, very good right now.
For sure, for sure. Logic has been the staple of ideas since the beginning. He has been into simming a lot, and right now he has a lot of responsibilities study-wise as well. But he's still balancing his time and giving time for SH, and really doing it well at that.
Well, that's good to hear. And as a captain, you did really well, Devnath. Except that a few moments when you had some technical glitches. What happened out there exactly? Was that a connection issue?
Yeah, the Wi-Fi was spotty, so I got disconnected in the middle of one match. But yeah, that's okay.
Devnath, do you think that is an area that you should improve upon, your faulty Wi-Fi? I think that is really letting your team down, Devnath.
Yeah, I mean, I've been moving places between SH, so every new place has its own connection issues, and which I can't troubleshoot really. So yeah.
What do you think? What is going to be your strength coming into the next race? I think this must have been your last race or your third SAH qualifiers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
this
was the
was the
last
third
one
SH
of the
race.
group stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you think your team is in a very good position of the knockout rounds? Do you think your team will succeed and come into the finals of this SAH series?
Probably.
Finals, we might, but yeah, I mean, it's all a relative term, right? Compared to HHR, we are not that well formed as a team, but compared to other teams, yes.
So, do you see HHR as your biggest competition?
Yeah, biggest and only competition.
They are your only
Oh, what
competition.
happened about
Okay,
that?
that is some amazing amount of trash talk from Devnath. Now let's move on to Bombay Brigadiers. I
Hey,
think this was also your third race.
Yeah,
yeah,
Nishant, if we can.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, what about you guys? Are you at all confident that you guys will be passing on to the, I would say, the knockout stages?
Yeah, probably if we practice enough, we can reach to the final race or semi-finals.
What about? I don't think you should shoot yourself down that much. I think you guys should aim for finals because NJ is showing a tremendous amount of performance. I think sadly enough, Jasim did not have it in this time. Jasim having a few issues in terms of getting the race pace back. But I think a star pilot such as NJ, who's so consistent, can actually lead you guys to your victory. Do
I
you not?
guess so. I guess I'll keep NJ the captain for the next race.
Hey, no.
All right. So, Karan, do you have any other questions for both of our team captains?
No, it's really good. I mean, in terms of the scoring here, I would say the Bombay Brigadiers have won both of their two rounds, actually, two of their three matches. So, one loss is not really disappointing for them. And, ZDR, I think they lost the first one against that one, Hyderabad, and they won against KKR and then won here. So these two teams are well placed, I would say, in the knockouts. Not to worry, except the fact that, as Devnath was pointing out, his arch rival is the Hyderabad Hellraisers, and Shady, of course, on the other end, will be doing his due diligence to get prepared to knock out Devnath and his band of the the drone racing pilots out here. So I'm sure ZDR will be doing all sorts of plannings and calculations out there to rewatching the videos if necessary of Hyderabad Hellraisers and accurately planning a strategy to move them out and capture that big win at the end of October out here.
I think that is very true and that's very accurate. So, guys, I would just like to say this one last thing. All the best for your knockout rounds if you guys make it. I think with the kind of sweep that they have had this round, it's safe to say that we will be seeing ZDR racing. Sorry, Zine Drone Racing actually compete against some other team in the knockout stages, and I hope so. I hope it is true for the Bombay Brigadiers as well, because they are honestly very close match, and I would love to see a competition between the two of them.
Yep, lots of interesting competition coming along in the knockout stages. The knockout stages again begin on the 15th of August. Very easy to remember. It's our Independence Day. And the next two matches that are only remaining in the group stage are TRV against PPL on the 7th of August, and then the Bangalore Buzzers against the Hyderabad Hellraisers. The final of the group stage rounds is on 8th of August. After that, we have a 1 week of break for the pilots to really warm it up and do all sorts of planning, and they then come out all refreshed on the 15th of August for the knockouts. And interesting road ahead for all the teams and all the pilots. I wish them all the best. Right now, we are concluding this part of the episode from our Saturday Night Live here from the Mumbai studios and the IDRL Theatre. We wish all of the viewers a very, very good night out there. And thank you also, Rathi FPV and the pilots for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Do not forget to join us in the afternoon at 3:30 p.m. Myself and Rathi will be there for the D1 Racing X IDRL Pro competition. That's at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. So do join us on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll see you tomorrow. So good night and sweet dreams. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.